suspended, I think, it's like.
Are we live? Finally. Better late than never, people. We're doing an absolute madness. People deluded. I'm back again. I hope you're all doing well and safe. I apologize for being late. 8 minutes late. 38 minutes late if you go by YouTube. I thought I was bugging. I don't know what StreamYard and YouTube, but then I honestly had it scheduled for 11:30. But we go again, man. It happens, man. Please hit the like button on your way in. Please make sure you're subscribed and following on Twitch. After this live stream, 4 p.m., I'll be playing Football Manager 2022. So make sure you're there. Obviously, tomorrow we kick off at 7:45. So I'll be live from 6:45. Make sure you're all there in relation to the Arsenal-Leeds watch along. So yeah, people, we'll be speaking vaguely about Arsenal versus League in the Cup. Obviously, you know, Saliba had a decent performance against PSG, and I'm sure everyone, you know, a lot of people didn't actually watch the game, and they're going to make a circus of it, as it would be expected. He's keeping a clean sheet against Lionel Messi, Neymar, and Kylian Mbappe, which is an achievement in itself. On that, it seems like we're making 12 million on the sales of Mavropanos and Matteo Guendouzi. So it is what it is in that regards, people. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. You know, as usual, people deluded. I'm back again and those things. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night to you lot around the world. Hope everyone's doing well and safe. Hope you had a great last week. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope you're obviously able to attack this week aggressively and have a good week and move that much closer to your goals, hopes, dreams, and aspirations. If we're not trying to reach goals and overcome obstacles, what are we doing in this world? On that note, you can't do a damn thing without your health. So I hope you and your loved ones, everybody listening, I hope you lot are all in good spirits. I hope you've all got your health. And with that, health is wealth, people. So yeah, Monday morning, I'm excited to go. It is what it is, people. As I said, watch along business tomorrow. Arsenal versus Leeds. Hit the like button, set your reminders. Link has been dropped there for you lot, man. I hope everyone's good. DG been on holiday in Ghana, no cap, first live stream. CeeLo, appreciate you for tuning in. Big up to you on your holiday. Enjoy it, stay well and safe. Make sure you travel to and from Ghana safely. You know, wishing you a safe journey. Make sure you reconnect with the motherland, man. It must be nice being on holiday, man. Go and, you know, think about what's really important in life and whatnot, man. And Ghanaians are good vibes. So I know you're enjoying yourself, having good food, good vibes and whatnot. So yeah, enjoy yourself. And, you know, big up to me, because technically I'm being streamed in Ghana, DG Nation International, and that shout to the Ghanaians and everyone else in the whole region of Africa, just like around the world. We got Australia. Joe, I appreciate that. Good day, mate, and all of that. My brother deluded, nursing a hangover from my birthday celebrations. What better way than to catch up with my boy deluded? Shout all the members. Adlib, I appreciate you. First things first, obviously happy belated, wishing you many more, continued health, all of that stuff. Nursing a hangover though, yo, baby in this thing though. I can't lie, man. Lay off the juice. I hope Ray enough wasn't that evil to you, man. But yeah. I apologize for everybody thinking this DG guy live or whatnot. You know, I see some confusion with the earlier comments. I apologize. We're here now. You ain't hearing me on no replay or any of those sort of things, people. I hope everyone's well and safe. Where should we start, man? Where should we start? Let's actually start with William Saliba. Now, for me, William Saliba has had a very good loan spell. Out of 12 games, I think they've kept 8 clean sheets. I don't know about no one else, people. I don't know what anyone else sees. What I've seen, if I had to describe William Saliba's time, I'd give him a 7 so far. I think he's more often than not, he's had some quality games there. And I mainly focus on this in my loan reports and stuff, and I will. Didn't have nothing really to do of note against Lazio. When Marseille had 2 defeats prior to this game or the game before, he did kind of struggle in those 2 games. But against PSG, he did very well. I think in general, he showed what you know with Saliba. He showed his confidence playing out from the back. He showed his confidence on the ball in possession. He showed his leadership qualities. Not going to lie, I think there's a lot of hysteria, and I get it. You know, he's kept a clean sheet. He's been part of a team, better yet, that has kept a clean sheet against Messi, Neymar, and obviously Kylian Mbappe. If VAR never had something to say, maybe they take all 3 points because Milik did score. But I think people over gassing the performance. You know, he had, you know, fantastic last ditch slide tackle that's going around socials, marked well, you know, defended well, headed fairly well, but sometimes some of his headers were quite unconvincing. And I've said that's an area, considering he's 6'4", he needs to improve in dramatically. In fact, there was an incident, he's headed it, and that's actually put Marseille under pressure. Messi's had an effort, and the keepers drew a good save. These are things I'd expect with a 20-year-old. We can't rush to draw conclusions. What I like from him on his loan spell at Marseille, getting more experience, getting more importance, as he's shown at Saint Etienne, as he showed at Nice. From the minute he goes to these teams, he showed his leadership qualities. He shows he's there to stand up, to be counted, and you can obviously see him geeing up teammates. He's a big game player. There's a lot he needs to improve on. His, as I keep saying, his agility. For someone who's 6'4" in the air as well, I know he's never going to be a goal scorer, but even from set pieces, he gets into good areas, and he doesn't always hit the target. But these are things you'd imagine with a 20-year-old. I think he needs to be in Arteta's plans next season. He's not going to be all the way there yet. There's going to be games for Marseille, which has happened, where he's dropped clangers. There's going to be games in the Premier League where he's dropped clangers, you know. Again, it's the Premier League's unforgiving. Look at Ben White. Everyone drew their conclusions over him against Brentford. Now everybody loves him against Villa. You know, all we need is Saliba to come back more experienced, more confident. You know, he's not going to be a fully polished player, but slightly more polished, and he's doing well. He's getting good experience in a team that's keeping clean sheets, that, you know, playing for a big team with big expectations, with big fans and stuff like that, playing in Europe, playing under someone like Sao Paulo, who's been there, done that, you know. And I think he's thriving, whether they're playing with a back four or a back three, he's doing his thing, people. And I'm not going to lie, it weren't the most amazing of game. I wouldn't say they were under sustained pressure. I was actually quite disappointed from us, PSG, but Saliba left with his credibility intact. Like I said, that tackle was fantastic. He made 57 passes, has a passing accuracy of 96%, made one successful dribble, won 3 tackles, had 1 interception, 1 clearance, 1 aerial duel, and won 5 of his 6 ground duels. So I don't even think the statistics are being helpful to him. As I said, I do think people are over gassing the performance, and the headline doesn't quite match up with the performance. It weren't an amazing performance from anyone. It was a 0-0 draw where both teams could have done better. They kind of cancelled each other out. But being selfish and focusing on Saliba, there is a good grounding there, really. And again, he's still going to learn difficult lessons. He's not the most experienced. Has he played 100 career games yet? He must be closer to that. I'm actually going to check now. I'm pretty sure between his spells at Saint Etienne, obviously him playing for Marseille and Nice, I'm sure he doesn't have 100 appearances, and he's 20. He's going to be 21 when he returns next season. That's a good platform, but he's not going to be the finished article. He's made 12 appearances so far, 9 in the league, 3 in Europa, you know. And again, you look at his appearances, he still hasn't got 100 career appearances. So how can you expect certain competencies? 36 for Saint Etienne, 22 for Nice, and currently 12 for in all comps. This is for Marseille. My maths is poor. I'm not going to make an idiot of myself. I'm going to draw for the calculator. So 36 plus 22. Big up to everyone doing this mentally. Plus 12. That equals 70. So he's got about 30 games left before he's had 100 top flight appearances. The man's made 70 games. I know it's difficult when he's described as the Kylian Mbappe centre halves. We finally got a young French player with some sort of potential. You know, he's done his thing. He's done all right. Again, I'm trying to scroll back to his last games. I think Lorient, he could have done better for the goal they conceded. But I do think against Lille and Lens in the games before, when they had 2 losses on the spin, he could have done much better. I'm sure Lens is the game, or between Lens and Lille, there's a game he's put his teammate under pressure and they've conceded a penalty. And there's games where he's following the man and not the ball. He needs to improve in terms of his marking. He needs to improve in terms of how you look, you know, watch the ball and the man. He needs to know when to play, when to keep it simple, when to look over your shoulder, how to mark. There's a lot of tough lessons he's going to learn. But what I hope is that he comes back next season and he complicates things with Ben White and Gabriel. As I said, I hope Gabriel and Ben White have a blossoming partnership. For me, Gabriel's the top don. Saliba can play on the left-hand side. So that opens up Ben White and Saliba, 2 very good ball-playing centre-halves. I want to see Gabriel and Saliba. I want to see Ben White. I want to see all 3. So there's vital options where we have them in the squad. And considering we spent a fairly good outlay, we'd have our centre-back part defensive options sorted, and you couple them 3 together. I would say Tomiyasu, if we sign another right back, I'd still play him right back, but you might see more of an opportunity for him at centre half. Holding or a Chambers probably stays for homegrown reasons, but 2 of the 3 of Holding, Chambers, and Marie, you'd imagine their days are numbered. So, Saliba's going to have a good career. Hopefully it's at Arsenal. I hope we don't see that there's a profit to be made here. We've already made pennies on Matteo Guendouzi, but it is what it is. For me, the crucial thing was Saliba getting games. If we're of the belief where we need to give our game time to Ben White and Gabriel, who are still developing, and there's not too many games for Saliba, then fair play. But next season, what I hope is that he's given an opportunity, probably starts the season as third choice, but it complicates things. We're nowhere near Manchester City, but you look at Stones, Dyers, Laporte. Yeah, if they play a back 3, everyone can play, but someone's missing out. There's been times Stones has had to sit down, like this year. I'm not going to say Dyers, but there will come a time Dyers has made the spot his own. Obviously, there's Laporte there. You look at Liverpool, they've signed Canute, not really had a sniff. Had his opportunity against Liverpool. It might be him and Van Dijk, but you've got Matip, who's also been good. Joe Gomez in and among things. You need a squad, and I think many Arsenal fans, if you just look at the recent games we've played in the league up until now, it highlights there's a squad. There's a need for a squad. There's been games where somebody's been a villain and then they've been a hero. Other players have needed to stand up and be counted. Like, Aubameyang off the left and a Lacazette, it seems the thing right now. There's going to be games that's not the thing, and games we sit there and say it's unbalanced. So for me, Saliba had a very good game. People are overdoing it a bit, but he kept a clean sheet against Messi, Neymar, and I was about to say Suarez, MSN, and then Kylian Mbappe. Had a good tackle. There's a lot of positives to work on, but what we shouldn't do is draw conclusions. He's still learning his tricks and the trades, and as a centre back or as a defender, the more experience you get, it can never be a bad thing. So every game is taking him closer for me to 100 league top flight appearances, and then obviously closer to being someone. But he's still got a lot of lessons. He's going to be 21. It feels like he's been around for a while, so let's just let him develop. That's all I've got to say about William Saliba there, man. Games are coming thick and fast. The whole squad's going to need to stand up to be counted. What are you lot saying? Please hit the like button, please, people. If I'm Ben White, I'm worried. He needs a good season because Saliba is breathing down his neck. Pressure's a privilege, and that's one thing that's kind of annoyed me about Arsenal, in that fans don't really see you need a squad. Fans don't really see that, you need to keep pressure on spots. And I mean, you need this. If we want to be a big club, Odegaard, if you're not doing the business, Smith Rowe plays. Smith Rowe, you've got the 10. That's a target on your back. Saka, your number 7. Realistically, if we was a team with better options, Saka would probably struggle to get game time at this moment in time, if we're honest. We need these options. We need pressure. Too many times there's been complacency. If Ben White sees Saliba chomping at the bit, he might be out of it. Gabriel the same. Saliba, when you get your opportunity, make sure you hold on to it. We need competition. And as I said, I hope Ben White and Gabriel off their own back, I hope they're developing and they become a competent partnership. But then I obviously want Saliba. Obviously injuries are part and parcel of the game. Even Ben White, he missed a couple of games, or a game. What was it? The City game, because of Corona. So we need to be able to have a certified squad. And for me, they all have resale value. I don't know for Ben White, if you'll ever make your £50 million back, but if he develops and becomes that Arsenal in England regular like we believe, then, you'd imagine you'd break even. Saliba, you must imagine that you're in a good opportunity or good position to make your peas back. And the same goes with Gabriel. I think Gabriel's going to be the best centre-half at the club. I think he's got it all, if I'm honest with you. I think the others are very good ball players, but I think he's got the ball playing thing. And I actually feel Gabriel's ball playing, when we focus on Ben White and Saliba, is quite understated. And I think, pardon my language, he's a nasty bastard as well. And so I think Gabriel's the top dog at this club. I'm a big fan of Gabriel. I think he's a leader of this team and whatnot. I think the others, Ben White's going to have to show it. You spent 50 million on a man. I hope Saliba's given the opportunity to show such as well. But it is where that's concerned, folks. That's my opinions. Man says we need options like NSG. Trust me, we're all in love with that last-ditch tackle. We might be going from holding Socrates, Luis to Gabriel White and Saliba. What an upgrade. Should play for us in a back 3 when he returns. There should be the option for it. This is why he needs time. Let Saliba become a beast so he's not starting from scratch when he comes back to us. Great decision for him to go out on loan. For me, it's all about the habits he's learning, because as a young defender, you have bad habits. Saliba has a lot of them. Overplays, doesn't look over his shoulder, sometimes plays with his head down, sometimes overplays. I'm not criticizing it. These are all things you'd imagine someone at his age has in this game. But it's about coaching out the bad habits. And when I look at us defensively, even though we had a quote-unquote good game against Aston Villa, our outlooks on defending isn't good. We've got bad habits. You know, that goal that we conceded is a bad habit. That goal isn't too dissimilar from the goals we've conceded this season, whether we've won, lost, or drawn, or obviously if from last season. So it's about, for me, the habits. Saliba needs to be the whole team. It's about picking up good habits, unlearning the bad things. At Arsenal, I can't always say that's the case. Like, as much as I like Ben White and Gabriel's development, I can't say they've coached out their bad habits. Gabriel's getting there, but sometimes he does like to get a bit too tight. Ben White, there's a time and a place when to play. You know, there was a fantastic run where he's run out from the back with the ball, but there was an incident in the second half. He's tried to do the same thing. He's missed the ball completely. These are all young centre halves that are going to make naive mistakes, that probably are going to struggle for consistency, that are, you know, Saliba. I think I always go back to the game against Metz when he was at St Etienne or Nice, where he got torn apart. You need centre halves out of their comfort zone. Now, for Saliba to come out of it not getting destroyed, obviously, is a confidence builder against PSG, because they're the games you look to. I'm not going to say because he you know, keeps a clean sheet, he's going to be a messiah, or if he got destroyed, he's not going to be. But these are the games where you want to see certain levels. And, you know, I can't lie, we'll get onto Mavropanos. I don't really feel Mavropanos is going to have a future or should have a future at Arsenal, has ever been good enough. But I look at Saliba and you can see, you know, the big games Mavropanos has shown his level. Saliba has held his own, if I'm honest with you. So there's confidence to be built from. But saying that, Mavropanos is moving mad off his own back, if I'm honest with you. And on that topic, it sets us up nicely. You know, Arsenal stand to make around 12-13 million pounds from selling, allegedly from selling Matteo Guendouzi and Mavropanos. Now, I feel at the time, both of those signings were signings that were permanent transfers in all but name. Obviously, there was coronavirus. We was doing a buy now, pay later sort of thing. And I think even with Mavropanos, to a degree, he's not setting the world alight at Stuttgart, but he is having some standout performances. And under Mislintat, or at a club with Mislintat, they're looking after him a bit better. He scored the other day. He has found his feet. He has, off the back of a good campaign last year, he is finding his feet. So I do think there was potential to be a bit greedy and earn a bit more. For me, where Guendouzi is concerned, obviously it's nothing to do with the man's ability. They see him as a bad egg. They don't want the guy back at the club. There's a bag of problems at Arsenal, and they don't want Guendouzi to cause more. So we knew the obligation, unless a madness happened with Marseille, was going to be taken out. And I think Guendouzi already has enhanced his reputation. Held his own against PSG, getting called up by France, played well against Lorient, been playing well at Marseille. You know, I think Marseille and him are the perfect match. As has plagued him at Arsenal, at Lorient, at Hertha Berlin. There's obviously great examples of his leadership and stuff, but there's also stuff about bad attitudes and not knowing when to rein it in. And I think at some point in the future, Guendouzi will look back at his time at Arsenal and think of it could have went differently. I would have probably kept him and then reviewed it in the summer, because you would have had a player with a year left on his deal, someone that's been called up with France. I don't think he's going to go to the World Cup, but he was in the Nations League. You can make more than the initial sum you agreed with. So it's Arsenal. We need to learn lessons about being self-financing. I would have loved him to return and be part of the first team and all of that, but it was probably naive. I know a lot of people will point to Arteta's comments about how he said that Guendouzi hasn't necessarily played his last game, but he was playing coy. Anyone that understands football understands that he's never going to come out and admit what is happening, people. Exactly. And where Saliba's concerned, you're right. People will run the Mbappe clip, but won't look at some of his decision-making on the ball and hospital passes to his teammates. Again, that's facts. Saliba needs to improve in that. But it's like with the Reece Nelson at Hoffenheim loan. People were just wanking over the goals, but they weren't watching the 90 minutes. And then they're surprised that he's not, in fact, the Black Haaland Lionel Messi. But, you know, obviously sticking on with these two players we've sold for 12 mil. I mean, the one benefit is you look at the contracts until 2023. Surely Arteta, the club have to be looking at if they're giving Arteta a new deal, because, again, we've got players for the long term. I'm sure we're talking about potential targets. Football life changes. You can't really give assurances. But for me, if the manager's contract's not looking like it's going to be renewed or whatever, am I going to sign? So Arteta's one contract in 2023. But, you know, the only good thing I'd say is Guendouzi and Mavropanos' contracts have been dealt with. They're not going to be here, which is the only benefit. And at least we've made some money. They're not really positives for me. And then you look at, you know, Maitland-Niles, what's going to happen there? Contracted until 2023. The man behind me, Aubameyang, probably going to run down his deal, but to paint the same picture. Bellerin, Torreira, both on loan, contracted until 2023. Are these clubs that they're on loan going to buy them? I don't know if Bellerin are going to take Betis permanently or where Fiorentina is concerned, people. But the article has said, people, Arsenal duo set for exit with Mikel Arteta likely to land 12 million windfall. I won't share it because I'm not sure if the screen will start freezing. But apparently Mavropanos and Guendouzi are both set to leave Arsenal on permanent deals next summer. As you lot know, where Mavropanos is concerned, you know, he got Rookie of the Month in February. Stuttgart paid an initial 500,000 euros, 500k for him on loan with the obligation to buy him for 3 million, and which is 2.5 million pounds. And apparently that option isn't valid if Stuttgart are relegated, and they on current form it's not looking like such. They also have an option to buy. That was a similar sort of thing inserted to Guendouzi's one at Marseille, people. So yeah, people. Apparently, you know, Mislintat said where Mavropanos is concerned, in both cases, we have the chance to take him. I think it's relatively clear what's going to happen. And to be honest with you, Arsenal probably move him on. You know, there's a 3 million pounds for someone that hasn't really got a snowball's chance. They've made profit. As I said, I hope there is a decent sell-on clause. Guendouzi's 9.5 million, 11 million euros permanent option apparently will be triggered by Marseille, and should they avoid relegation, which doesn't look like a problem considering where they are in the table. Apparently, Arsenal have a recall option in the deal, but Guendouzi apparently wants to stay, and it looks like Arteta has no plans of retaining him. So it looks like it's happening, and you know, hopefully Mavropanos kicks on, and obviously Guendouzi. Obviously, you look at Hertha Berlin's coach described him as rebellious and likened his potential to someone of a much his behavior to someone much younger than him. So when you look at it, you know, we all heard about the puberty comments, and there's actually been comments plaguing Guendouzi today at Marseille. Apparently, a couple people have been coming out and to say, you know, one day someone's not going to tolerate his BS that he comes with. So on one hand, I'm disappointed in Arsenal because it does show proactiveness in getting these contracts sorted, but it just shows we're not able to manage talents. And like I said, if Marseille were to sell Guendouzi this summer, they've signed him for 9.5. They're at least making 20 mil, so there's a profit. So they've got an appreciating asset, but it is shocking business, and hopefully we learn, really. So we'll have to see what happens in that regards. But it don't look good, does it? It don't sound good either. But it is what it is. But that's where that's concerned, people. Where are you? What are you lot saying, people? Before we get into Arsenal versus Leeds, it's actually been a very good day, man. One love to you, locked in from Croatia. Whatever you said with Saliba and Matteo, we could challenge for top 4. I disagree heavily, but I appreciate the opinion, my guy. I don't think there'll be the difference between us getting top 4 or not. Watching last night, Marseille must be one of the most hostile stadiums in the world, bar South America. I mean, it does look like it, and it looks like a joy to play in, man. Locked, bro. Keep up the hard work. Fury, appreciate you. Tavares or Tierney to start in the league against Leicester. Yeah, it's true. But before that, we're going to have to deal with Leeds in front of us. As if Saliba would want to stay at Arsenal. Wouldn't be surprised if he tries doing something to leave when he comes back from loan. Have a bit more positivity, Adam. Big up DG. Make sure you all hit the like button. Appreciate that, my guy. I expect changes for tomorrow. Leeds want Prem survival over the Cat Yarabel Cup. We should win. Guendouzi, we must not sell. I hope they don't, because I know the option is up to him. We still haven't hit 100 likes, people. You lot are violating the dude, man. How shameful is that? You know, there's over 100 of you. There's only 75 likes. Use hindsight to apply better foresight. DG 2021. To be honest, I've been saying that for the best part of 2 years where Arsenal's concerned, but I hear it, man. Another pro for Saliba's loan is he gets European experience. Trust me, and for me, it's the fact that I would have preferred Saliba to stay on loan at a Prem team because we would have seen him under the microscope. But it's the sense of there's no relevance, there's no romance with Saliba where Marseille is concerned. Yeah, he's French academy and all that, but can you do the job? Marseille's got big fan base, big expectations. Can you do the job? Can you do the job consistently? Can you do it in Europe? You know, and it's not just him, it goes with everyone. And I think it's a good loan spell for him where that's concerned, people. So it is what it is. I think with that being said, we might as well preview Arsenal versus Leeds. Now, where that's concerned, folks, what is there to say? There isn't too much. It's a big week for Arsenal. First things first, you know, we had 2 games last week. We didn't do the business, you know, 50% ratio. Our job is to beat Leeds, in the cup, doing what we can, getting some positivity, keeping our general home form positive, and doing what we can for the fans on Tuesday evening. Everybody who's fit, not getting injured, people getting opportunities to complicate things with Arteta. Games are coming thick and fast. There is going to be rotation. I do want to go through to the cup, go through as long as we can in the FA Cup and obviously the EFL. Listen, we'll cover Leicester when this game is out of the way, and obviously as we move on in the week, but we have Leicester to think about. Leicester away from home, where they're turning it on a bit now. Good win against United, came back from behind against Brentford. Maddison got on the score sheet. Telemans did his thing. As somebody said, Leeds aren't being dealt. Leeds, when you look at Leeds last season, they were one of the teams that used the least players. So that's harmed them. They've had to use players out of necessity. There's been a bit of injuries. There's been a bit of second season syndrome. I don't want to say it, but I mean, Leeds are staring down the barrel of a potential relegation battle. They have had a barrage of injuries. So I don't know if Bielsa is going to go heavy in this game or if he's going to make necessary changes and just focus on the league and things like that. They have a number of talented young players. Gerhard won a penalty at the weekend. I'm sure he's going to want to play. They've got our former goon on Sam Greenwood, not Mason. They've got Connor Demal. They've got Somerville. They've got 1-2 young players on the cusp of things. And sometimes when you're doing poorly in the league, your cup form or performance in the cup can kickstart things. So it's going to be an interesting game, really and truly. Like now, I haven't seen what Mikel Arteta has said about this game yet. I think I'm a bit early in terms of his press conference. But again, we played on Sunday. We got a bit of a rest, but we're gonna need to keep. We got a rest over the weekend after playing on Friday, getting Saturday and Sunday off. But we're gonna need to be on top form. As you know, the games are coming thick and fast. It's as simple as that. They're coming thick and fast. We're gonna need the whole squad. Players that aren't getting football, go and put yourself into the plans. Really and truly, it's as simple as that. So the only thing left really is, I would say, the formation again. I'd probably revert back to a 4-2-3-1. I'm sure. You know what? If Lacazette's fit, Lacazette and Aubameyang probably be on the bench for me. I am tempted to start one because I do want to play strong. I do want to play a strong side. Again, what are we resting players for? Yes, Leicester, but at the same time, listen, we need to play our strongest side potentially with the exception of rotation. So with that, tactics. And obviously, I don't need to tell you about Leeds. Leeds can play out. We'll be here all day. They can play a variety of 3 at the back, 4 at the back, different sorts of formations. When you think of Leeds, you think of aggression, you think of pressing, you think of a lot of these things. So when I look at my potential lineup for the Leeds game, people, again, let me share my screen. I would love a couple of young G's on the bench, but I think, Leno will get Leno. You won't get too much football the way things are going, but Leno will get an opportunity. 185 of you still haven't had the like button hit. Leno would start for me in goal. Not that that's much different. Tavares is a tricky one because I don't know the severity of Kieran Tierney's injury, folks. Obviously, if Tierney's going to be fit for Leicester, I would probably let Tavares have a second start. If it's looking iffy with Tierney, then you have a question to ask. Do you let Tavares start this? I think he could play on the Tuesday and then obviously play on Saturday. But then if he gets injured, you're leaning on Kolasinac. Do you bring Kolasinac in from the cold, really? Where, again, I hear it if you're going to play Kolasinac, Kolasinac, Cedric and all these things. But I do think, the fluidity of the game is going to be killed. And as much as it's a cup game and both teams probably have different priorities, I don't think we can afford the luxury of turning away this. I want to win. I want to keep momentum up. I think you play the strongest team. I'm not too sure if it's right to play Cedric and whatnot and Kolasinac, but Cedric will probably get a look in because I would probably go Ainsley in midfield. So I'm going to assume Tierney's going to be fit for the weekend. If not, then obviously we've got a decision to make. But I'm going to go with Tavares personally on the left. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why he's in the same goalkeeping kit. So let's go with red. Obviously, that would have been a bit suspect, wouldn't it, folks? So I'm going with Tavares. Tavares is going to play on the left for me. Man, I said afternoon, DJ. I'd like Martinelli to lead the line. Odegaard and Martinelli. Leno's defo got leads. We definitely should be going for a win against Leeds. I would expect only a few rotations because we don't play too many games being Brexit FC. Who starts for you versus Leeds, DG? We're literally getting into that right now, my guy. Allow me, man. You know, I can only go at a certain pace. Centre halves now, Gabriel and Ben White should be given the night off, really. And centre halves is where I'm a bit concerned, really, because if we had the luxury, I actually wouldn't want to. I actually would want to play Gabriel or Ben White, and one of them keep going really and truly. But I'm gonna go with Holding. I don't really want to go with Marie. I'm gonna leave that squad space spare. I think for me, anyways. You know, Cedric, there's not really another option, really. I know there's Chambers, but I'd probably go with Cedric. Centre half, I'm not sure yet, so we're going to have to revisit that. When we start getting into midfield, I think I'm going to go with Odegaard in the 10, really. He probably will start against Leicester. He had a good game against Leicester this time last year. Well, not this time last year, but you get the point. I'd probably give Maitland-Niles. This is a chance for you to show what you could do in midfield. I know you've had minimal opportunities, but you haven't necessarily grabbed it. And I'd probably, just for a bit of stability, and Lokonga will be probably playing for us in the weekend, I would look to play El Nene. I think I'd go with that. Centre half, I'm still not decided yet, people. As I said, I'd probably go to a 4-2-3-1. So that just leaves the following positions, excluding centre half. We'll leave a blue one out there because it's still undecided. That leaves these positions vacant. Now, Lacazette probably looking to start you against Leicester, but I do want to start Lacazette or Aubameyang, probably Lacazette because he's played less games against Leeds. I think you need experience, really and truly. I'm not going to lie to you. I do think you need experienced players out there. I do think he's going to go with Eddie Nketiah. I wouldn't mind Martinelli. Personally, I'm going to go with Pepe on the right. Oh, if it will let me type in the name, I'm going to go Pepe on the right for me. He didn't start. And I think with Pepe and Odegaard, that gives me a bit of stability because they're two strong players. I think Martinelli on the left. Don't think he's going to give Balogun the nod through the middle, but that frees up the middle. I actually want to go with Martinelli through the middle, but you know what? Play off the left for me. And you probably, to be fair with you, Nketiah played well against Wimbledon. So Nketiah will probably come into the fray against them people. So you have something like that. Again, as I said, centre half still do you go with Marie? As you lot can see, a part of me wants to play Lacazette and Ben White, really and truly. But then you've got Leicester, and I feel you're playing on Saturday and Tuesday. Let's be real. If you're playing in the Champions League, players have to play on Tuesday/Wednesday and Saturday. So I do think a lot is made about resting and things like that. A part of me wants to name 1-2 stronger players, but we need to be careful. You know, I'm not really convinced with Marie, not really convinced with Chambers. I don't really like the Chuckle brothers as the centre half pairing. Marie will probably get the nod. So I'm going to say Marie. But I have to put in brackets. Probably go Ben White, you know. I don't even spell Marie's name properly. A part of me actually feels Chambers. So I'm going to put /Chambers, brackets Ben White, if we can. And I know that's probably doing a madness for you, like make you look harder to read. But yeah, centre half is where I don't really want to play around with the defense more than we have to, innit? We're already going to clearly, with the exception of Tavares, won't he? We're already changing the defense. You know, Leno's in goal, fair play. You know, so I'd probably look to go with something like that. So let me just delete everything. Like I said, if we could, Ben White or Gabriel, I'd look to play one of the stronger centre halves. If not, it's a toss up between Chambers and Chambers and Marie. You know, Marie probably complements the side a bit more. He's left-footed and all them things. Chambers and Holding, Brexit brothers, Chuckle brothers. Cedric will probably get a look in. Obviously, you could probably move Maitland-Niles away. You could probably move Maitland-Niles at right back and chop and change. But who plays in midfield? I don't really want to, beyond being on the bench, I don't really want to see Lokonga, Partey. If we can, Aubameyang. Saka, definitely. It goes without saying. The man's tired. These sort of players, but I would actually not play Eddie. If it was up to me, as I said, I'd play one of our stronger centre halves next to Holding, and I'd probably play Lacazette if fit. I know he came off, and I know I want him to play against Leicester, but you know, yeah, he's been starved of football. Let him play. Let him, you know, when you're playing well, let people run through their form. I would like to go with a bit more experience. I would like I said, man, you know, the centre half, and I would go away with Eddie. Wouldn't mind Balogun getting an opportunity because you need to get one, but at the same time, I understand if he doesn't because there are stronger lineups we can look to do. Don't really want too much experiment. The key clearly is to just go out there, try and win convincingly, try and come through with no injuries, try and keep some momentum that's going, because we are undefeated in 5 games, and obviously focus on Leicester with respect to Leeds, because again, you know, sometimes when the league form is poor, the best thing you can have is a cup, because this could be something that provides a catalyst for Leeds to get back on job. And, you know, any team that's managed by Bielsa, you have to respect them. It hasn't quite been the same Leeds team, but they're not going to be a joke by any stretch of the imagination. I swear, going through in this competition, if you win it, I swear you get Conference League. The way we're moving, that's something we have to consider, really and truly. Right? It really is something to consider, but it is what it is. Let me know what you lot are saying. Hit the like button if you haven't. Very appreciative of everybody watching. People lost connection with your mic. What's all that about? We genuinely think if we keep a healthy squad and a midfielder and get a midfielder in January, 5th is inbound, I think we can challenge for 5th/4th as in be the best of the chasing pack. But myth, man. Myth. Saving me from sleeping during lectures. I put in a shift, man. I would like to see Patino on the bench. And like I said, couple Haylanders, but I wouldn't start no one. Strong team for me. Do the job, and then you can start playing around, giving people opportunities as that, man. EG, you're lagging on my stream. There's nothing I can do about that, my guy. Seems to be some issues in that regards, man. Let me leave and come back. So hopefully that's fixed something. But yeah, man, I mean, we're having terrible internet connectivity issues where BT is concerned, but we keep going. Obviously, make sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure you're checking out the pin message, because you know it's watch along business tomorrow, folks, for Arsenal versus Leeds. And actually later today, I'll be streaming Football Manager as well. So make sure you're there for that one, man. What else are you guys saying? Odin has played at left centre back historically, could play him in Chambers. You could, but as I said, they're a bit hit and miss. You should be able to get away with it against Leeds. They've got injuries of their own back. You know, I can't imagine them risking Rafinha and all of these things. And as I said, Leeds have a number of talented young players as well, man. You know, Greenwood might get an opportunity. I think Gerhard will. You got Somerville, you got Demar, you got Charlie Cresswell. They got 1-2 young players, really. I think both teams clearly have different priorities. Odegaard and Martinelli, Leno defo got Leeds. If Tierney is available, shouldn't he get some minutes? Although he can still come on for the last minutes. I mean, he could, but if Tierney is back fit, you know what, Tierney, just do training with the club. All right, yeah, you might be able to get 1-2 minutes against Leeds, but for me, none of that. You get a week training, you're in for Leeds. And for Tavares, if that's the case, start again in it. I think Tavares can handle the workload. You know, we always talk about rest, but Tavares and Lacazette have been starved of football. So I'm sure if they're fit, I'm sure they want to play. I'm sure everybody wants to play for what it's worth. You know, my guy A is gone with Leno, Chambers, Holding, Marie, Tierney, Maitland-Niles, Sambi, Odegaard, Partey, Balogun, Pepe. I wouldn't look to play Tierney or Lokonga, as I've said. You know, Pepe would start for me. I want to see Martinelli. We do. Do you think Martinelli should go on loan? Think it would benefit him like Saliba has? If he's not going to play, it's something to look at. But yeah, man, is what it is. Get a power line extender. I'm plugged in. Pause. I'm plugged in. Like fumes. I'm actually plugged in. Like I'm disabling. I mean, I'm fuck it up, but should I try to disable my Wi-Fi? One sec, P. In the hope that this doesn't mash things up. I mean, oh shit. I've disabled the Wi-Fi, folks. So it can't get any better or any worse than that, really and truly. And not saying I'm logged in twice. What's all that? Who else is part of the stream? That weren't there before, but fuck it, we'll make it work. Turn off Wi-Fi adapter. Sounds like it's interfering. I'll do that after this, man. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Allegedly, what's this? Athletic just put an article out about Ramsdale wanting to be number one. Boy, we've got the Athletic, and I can't see anything more to speak about. So let's see what's going on there with Ramsdale. And I mean, Ramsdale wants to be England #1. And I mean, the move to Arsenal is obviously going to have a big impact in that because he's showing he can play for a bigger club with bigger expectations. He's showing he can adapt. You know, we never probably, but you know, Ramsdale's one of the best ball playing keepers in the league. We definitely weren't saying that before. So he's showing his quality. And I wouldn't say Southgate don't rate him, but I think he don't rate him. I think if Pope's fit, you know, Johnson's fit, Pickford's fit, Ramsdale don't play, especially going into the Euros. I do think it's changing now with England. It's becoming undeniable. Not just Ramsdale. I think there's a lot of keepers that should be chomping at Pickford's bit. Pause, because that's a bit booky. Chomping at the bit of taking Pickford's first team spot. Because I don't think Pickford's necessarily the best keeper. I don't think any of these keepers are amazing. But I think anywhere in England that should be an open sort of fight, it should be that #1. And I think Pickford, again, it is what it is. And I think Ramsdale's clearly started in blistering form. The mentality, the consistency, the ball playing, similar to when Tierney walked through the door at the Emirates. I'm already screaming. Ramsdale's a big voice on and off the field. He's probably a future captain as well. Let's keep it real. And that's reflective of how the club's been moving, really. But it's testament to Ramsdale's character. And I feel Ramsdale is, you know, I really like him. He's very identifiable because he seems like he's a pro baller. But he's not, you know, you always see him at AFC Wimbledon like this weekend playing with the kids post-game and that. You see him doing little things for charity. You see the way he's always celebrating with the fans. You see, obviously, how he is with the Arsenal interviews and stuff. Very nice guy, very likable guy, very much. I can't lie, a lot of what I think's been missing with Arsenal and what Arsenal's about, I think he's got that. He's really relatable. And I think, you know, he's proven everyone wrong. Again, the jury's still out on him, and there's going to be tough spells of form. But I think, you know, everyone and their nan didn't want him. Me, not to say I told you so, but I wasn't against any of the signings we've made this summer. You know, I defended Ramsdale, Ben White, and Odegaard, but I didn't think he was as good as this. And as I said then, I didn't mind the signing, definitely for 30 mil. But again, if you were screaming centre back and goalkeeper to me, I never had Ramsdale on no list. So he's doing well. He's proving people wrong. He's probably, I don't want to say the signing of the summer, but when you look at them, all that probably matters is May. You can't really disagree because I feel Lokonga was the guy at the start. It's kind of, we're seeing his limitations. Tomiyasu the same. You will with Ramsdale. Ben White, expectations are a bit different. Carman cost 50 mil. So I'd probably say Ramsdale because some fans were like, you know, he's been relegated twice. Literally, I won't say it's the best thing ever, but the fact that he's probably been relegated is probably a massive benefit to Arsenal because there's an element of seriousness about things. He sees that, you know, you've got to play well for 90 minutes. He understands the emphasis of getting 3 points. Sometimes at Arsenal, beyond the corridors at Highbury, not a man said Highbury. I wish it was Highbury. At London Coley or at Islington and Gillespie Road. It feels like it's anyone that's not part of the Arsenal bubble, for the players that are part of it, from the players to everyone, there's not an emphasis on the margins of winning or losing. You know, it's always looking like we're finding positives. In life, there is always tomorrow, but you need to seize the day today. So I like it with what I'm seeing with Ramsdale. But let me try to find this article, man. Arsenal's big up Art De Roche as well. Need to get him on here as well. It's his article. Arsenal's Aaron Ramsdale aiming for England's starting role by 2022, as he should be, people. He's already dislodged you know, Leno, who is their third choice keeper, but it is what it is, man. Apparently, Ramsdale has said he hopes to start for England by the time the next major window rolls over, next tournament rolls around, which is in October. Apparently, he told AFC Wimbledon's website where he was at the weekend, he said, yes, me and the missus were going to go on holiday and go and chill. Next thing you know, I'm in the squad. I'm fully part of it. And it was some of the best weeks of my life. I kept saying it was a great lads holiday. That's just the team spirit we had. And we were just a few kicks away from achieving something great. And it's true, it must have been. You got Grealish, Foden, Sancho, you got all the man them, you know, again, it must be elite. He also said it's just added momentum and hunger to do well in the World Cup, and hopefully I can be part of that again, and hopefully that will be to do with a starting role. I mean, anyone, he should have ambitions, you know. Who just wants to be anyone? And no, who just wants to be part of the squad? You should want to start, especially because of this. You know, he's eyed up the #1 with Leno. He's eyed up the #1 with England. Hopefully, he can do his thing. And it's looking like 24 million has been justified. Because if worse comes to worse, I think we're making our money back on Ramsdale if he never improves. As you know, since making his debut, he has started 6 games. People kept 3 clean sheets. Now, to be fair, a lot of that has coincided, as much as it's off his own back. A lot of it has coincided with the team's uptake in form. And I do think people have been a bit unfair to Leno, despite the fact of I think he behaves like a spoiled kid, and he really was rewarded for nothing, really and truly. But people make out that Leno's always been a bad keeper. He hasn't. But that's all it is to say about him. I mean, if that's not Ramsdale's ambitions, it shouldn't be. For me, you should be looking at becoming England Arsenal captain. You know, a goal. You should be eyeing it up, really. You know, you've already become a leader. You've already, for me, become one of the biggest voices in that changing room. And to be honest, you should be, because I look at it. You know, 23 years of age. You've played. You've seen what football's like. You've been on loan at AFC Wimbledon. You've been in Sheffield United. You might not be the most glamorous, but you've had big voices in the change room and needing to let, pardon my language, your nuts hang and pop out your chest and say things that need to be said and have it out. You know, enemies for 90 minutes, friends after the game. As much as I like the fact that there's togetherness and whatnot, we're not here to get friends. We're not here to make friends. We're here to try and achieve stuff. And I get that with Ramsdale. And I think he should be eyeing up Arsenal captaincy one day, especially if it's like this, because he's already one of the more experienced players out of them. You know, when you break it down for the younger sort of players, I'm looking at Odegaard, I'm looking at Gabriel, I'm looking at Ramsdale, you know, to be the leaders. I'm even to a degree, Tomiyasu looks like to a degree needs his handheld, but I'm even looking at him because you've played enough times for Japan. You've played in Italy. You know, I'm looking at these guys to be the somewhat leaders to the even like the younger brothers sort of thing. It goes without saying, the experienced ones, the Xhakas, the Partes, Lacazettes, Aubameyans, these lot need to show the levels, if I'm honest with you. But for me, I'm probably looking at Ramsdale, Tierney to be the captains of the future. You know, Gabriel for me can scheme on that as well. I don't know if there's a language barrier to overcome where that's concerned. But yeah, folks, that's all I've got to say where that one there is concerned. It is what it is. I don't believe in the term young. If you're good enough, you play. So Balogun and others need to play, but I want a strong team for Leeds. Kieran, I mean, you have to, I hear you, you know, I mean, if you're young, you're clearly young, but if you are good enough, you're old enough. I mean, Balogun's a first teamer. It needs an opportunity. I think Eddie Nketiah's probably got the form, probably still ahead of him in the pecking order. I'd be very surprised if Balogun starts, but I would like to see him get it. Why not? I don't believe. Well, that's already had there. Balogun over Nketiah for me. One didn't get game time for running down his contract. Same should apply to the other. Fair play. Martinelli don't play today. He should leave in January. Jamaican Gunner, he can't play today, my guy. Playing tomorrow. Keep up the good work, DG. Appreciative. Shout out AM. Good mentality. We need more players like him. Knowing us, we are due a bad result soon. Not trying to jinx it, but they need to show we are out of this funk for good. No, I don't think so. I think we're just going to keep seeing this. We're going to see wins where it's, games where it looks like it's gone completely right. We're just the season you've seen, hopefully less so of the Brentfords, the City, the Chelsea period. But I think that's what we're going to see. We're just going to keep doing that all season because that's where we're at. Saliba, bit over the top with outstanding, but he had a very good game, man. A 7/8 out of 10 for me. It's about the experience as well, which obviously at times is correlated to age. There's 19-year-olds more experienced than 25-year-olds. Extreme, but if you look at the Prem, you see that. I'll be honest, I was 100% negative about Ramsdale joining the club, but I'm strong enough to hold my hands up and say I was wrong. Glad he's proved me wrong thus far. And that's all you can say, bro. That's all anyone can say. DG, you're the most insightful and entertaining Arsenal content creator on YouTube. Big up. I appreciate that. No clue if I'm worthy of such praise, but I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, and hopefully one day it will work, man. I just want Ramsdale to be happy. He's a proper lad. Trust me, man. It feels like Ramsdale's one of the men. Then you go to the pub with him and that. He's really cool, man. Benassi has been quality. He is quality, but, not at Arsenal anymore. I subscribe, loving these shows. I'm a Sunderland fan. I hope we play you next round. Shout out to you, Sharky, because I think I see a comment about you just subscribed. I appreciate that. Hopefully Sunderland can get out of their situation. And yeah, assuming we get through to the next round, playing a tough Leeds side. Pardon me. I didn't want Ramsdale to join because I didn't want him to get abused by our fans. And fans are fickle. Pardon me, a fickle bunch. They're leaving Aubameyang alone. Lacazette history's been rewritten every week. Arsenal fans rewrite history in relation to Granit Xhaka. Very shameless bunch we are. Tavares reminds me of Theo Hernandez. So powerful and unpredictable. You don't know when he's going to shoot, cross, and dribble. And I mean, he's a madman. For 38 games, we don't need that, but there are periods where we will need such. We have 131 likes. However, there's 244 of you locked in. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. What else is there affecting Arsenal? Bit disappointed. I probably should have delayed doing this because I did want to see Arteta's comments, but I think we've missed. Well, I don't think this transcript has been written up and all of those sort of things yet. where Arsenal are concerned. So yeah, we haven't yet to hear what the manager's saying. You expect to see some rotation, you know, the one time Arteta's go, but at the same time, do we need to? You know, was we screaming rotation when we played on the Monday and the Friday last week? I know there's the cup now, and it's not of the same importance to the Prem, but yeah, man. And obviously, keeping up with Ramsdale, he said, for me, it's to stay in the team week by week and keep producing good performances, which the team and staff are happy with. I'm loving the connection I've got with the fans, but ultimately, they aren't the ones picking the team. If I keep the manager happy, I'll be doing well. Facts, man. And it's just refreshing to see someone with just an element of seriousness about him. It's a bit mad in that regards. Apparently, according to CIES football, Arsenal are the most productive training club in the Premier League. 51 players who spent 3 or more years with them between 15 and 21 are now playing across the divisions. So I mean, again, that highlights we haven't seen too many fruits of that labor, but I think that highlights what Arsenal's academy is trying to do, or what when we've locally sourced players, they've gone on and done things and had careers. That's we either make players that can play for the first team, players that can be sold for profit, or we give them the tools to let them do what they can, people. So yeah, Arsenal, most productive team in the league for youth talent. Allegedly, people. Which again, I haven't read CIS reports out to you lot in a while. We used to do hella videos surrounding that. But when you look at the article, people, when you look at this, let me zoom in a bit. Oh, I'm sure that looks terrible for you lot. But as you lot can see here, people, like we said, 15 to the ages of 15 to 21, Arsenal are 51st. Well, not 51st. That's the number of players we've got, sorry, butchered. But we're on the list. We're the first English team there. And to be fair to you, you're never going to be ahead of Partizan. Got a good academy. Zagreb, the same. Sporting, do their thing. Shakhtar produce some players and scout some talent. Ajax, it doesn't need saying. Barcelona have been poor, but one byproduct has been, for me, seeing Balde, Mingueza, Ansu Fati, Pedri and Gavi's proper emergence, more so Gavi's this season, and probably 1-2 other players here, there, so we're good, and we're quite the way out where it comes to the Premier League. Now, hopefully that could correlate with us seeing stuff, because we're almost a farmer who grows the best mango trees, and we've never tasted the mango really and truly with seeing, when it comes to academy players leave or players that have been brought to this club, whether it's been the Benassias, Marlons, Gnabry's, players that would have been players for us right now. It's a madness. And I've said before, we're starting to turn it around with what we're doing under Mertesacker. But again, it's when these players, for me, it's not the recruitment of talent, it's not the development of talent. It's now when it comes to that first team, progressing them, going out on loan, needing clarity, it hasn't been there. And that's why we've lost a lot of players unnecessarily before we've got to see anything really and truly. But you can't go back in time. It is what it is, man. Academy is on point. We just need to learn how to do deals, contracts, and transfers. I'd agree. On the job, listening to DG, I love working from home. Not a happy man. I hope the content is doing things. So it is what it is. It is what it is in that regards. Keep your opinions and comments coming, people. You lot make these live streams what they are. Let me zoom out a bit so I can see if there's anything else going on. Zuma got man of the match against Spurs. Shout out to Zuma. And make one love to everyone who was on Twitch earlier as well. So it's a bit of a madness. Ollie's been sacked just in. You're trolling because he's not been sacked. I've actually was reading stuff about Ollie today. I've actually got things in front of me. Good news, football fans. Ollie sets his sights on United's next 3 games in bid to fight back. Ollie, we have to move forward. I believe in you, Ollie. Trust me. Don't let the fans get you down. Ollie's got this. Believe in Ollie. Believe in him. What has he said after getting trashed 5-0? Next week is Tottenham away, then at Atlanta, The next team who visits us is Man City. We have to look forward. We have to sort the frames of minds out and make sure we go into the next training session and the next match in the right frame of mind. Man United have had tough times, difficult times before, and they've always bounced back and taken on challenges. Last season, we were second, and this season, we have started badly. You have to get through that one and then start building performances, start building results, start with clean sheets and where that takes us at the end of the season. Ollie, I believe in you, man. You've got ability to do this thing. I would go strong against these. I actually think that we should go for this trophy because we have no Europe. Bro, trust me. And I just think it can be done. I hear people in the need for rest and things, but I think we need to, really and truly. DJ Sweets has said, yes, DG, you and Curtis gone clear of the pack. Don't know the fat controllers in the sky can see and hear you. They're going to be knocking with the bags full of pee soon. I beg you don't sell them nothing, love. Appreciate that. Don't know where they are, but we do need investment. I can't lie, man. Being independent is a stresses. But if you're asking me, will I sell my integrity? Hell no, brother. You're getting mad. Rate me for even suggesting that, but I appreciate that, man. Come on, be excited, man. We have to get our respect back from these chump teams we have fallen against. Villa to start with, make them fear us again, at least to the point where they know in a flash we can score. True. Currently, Gabriel and Ben White are the main centre-backs, so where is Saliba going to fit in? When they brought Saliba, he was supposed to start immediately, but they didn't give him a chance. I don't think he was meant to start immediately. That's not necessarily fair. And again, yeah, I've kind of covered that. I'm not going to go over it again, man. Emre or Arteta? Both duds in it at this moment in time, you know. Arteta can sit there and say he's won a cup, you know. History is all that that matters, you know. Again, Emre did a lot good, he did a lot bad. I do think one luxury that Emre wasn't afforded. A lot of the excuses and things that Arteta gets to survive by, Emre was out the door for. There's a lot of luxuries. So it is what it is. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to make sure you're following on Twitch, 4 p.m. Football Manager Business. Obviously, it's watch along stuff tomorrow. Make sure you're all there. Links been posted in the chat. Again, links pinned in the pinned message. Content. I think Wednesday is West Ham Man City, so I'll be doing that on Twitch as well. Odegaard should warm the bench. As a Norwegian, he's just bang average, sideways passes and back passes. That's harsh. I think he should start against Leeds. Look at City with Stones, Dyers, and Laporte. It's good to have quality in depth. Again, you can't just have two players. It's naive to think you can go through 38 games, assuming we get through Europe and all the games that are there and all the other cops with two centre-backs. And if one gets injured, what happens? And if one goes through poor form, what happens? Fans are very reactionary. DG, going to the game tomorrow. If you ever need tickets, shout me. I've got hold of a plug this season. P-Mav, not going tomorrow, but I'll definitely shout you for that, man. I DM me or something on Twitter, man. So there's a proper port of call, man. Wouldn't mind Tierney playing in the back three with Tavares wingback. TM, it should be an option. We need options in this squad. You know, if you go on the last game, 4-4-2, Aubameyang and Lacazette's the thing. If you go on the Spurs game, which was probably our second best / first best performance of the season, Lacazette can't get a start. Everything that worked, you know, you can't say anything when you've won, and by Arsenal standards, you've had a perfect performance. But this season has shown there's times for 3 at the back. There's times for a 4. There might be times to go 2 up front. You need to know your squad, know the formation you're going with, and the relationships you breed. There's going to be games we're going to need Lacazette and Aubameyang to not only press together, but work their magic. Obviously, with a 4-4-2, you're going to need whoever's playing on the left, where it's Smith Rowe playing a bit of a hybrid role. And in that case, the last game, Tavares, we're going to need them to build relationships. You definitely, where 4-4-2 is concerned, need your centre mids to stand up to be counted, which they did. If we played 4-4-2 against Brighton or Crystal Palace, would the narrative be the same? So we need to be wary of drawing conclusions. We need one central base way of playing and being able to do that consistently, but we need to be able to chop and change with personnel. We might say 4-4-2 might be the thing, but Lacazette might not be able to play, so it might have to be in a thing where it's Aubameyang and Martinelli. There shouldn't be a drop-off. When we're doing 3 at the back, it might not be Gabriel and Ben White. Someone else might have to come in. There shouldn't be a drop-off. You look at Brighton, didn't defend the best against City, but they've dropped out Webster now. A couple man don't necessarily play all the time, and there's not a drop-off. Same goes for our midfield. there might have to come a time where, it kills me, but we shouldn't be here saying we've missed Xhaka in the team. So we need a certified 11, and then Arteta needs to know when to chop and change. This is why I think we're going to keep seeing what we've seen so far in these 8 or 9 games this season. It's just merry-go-round sort of thing. We're going to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. The bad being Brighton and Palace, the ugly being what happened against the European champions and actually the playoff winners. And considering the fact Liverpool sourced United 5 goals and we got them soon, I'm not looking forward to that. And the good being the Aston Villa and Spurs, where if you was to cherry pick it, a lot that needs to be improved, but it is what it is. Again, it's all balance. Because all the time, there's been times these things haven't worked. But it's interesting, though. And then it makes us less predictable, man. Arteta is not in a position to be changing many players tomorrow. To be changing many players tomorrow is a must-win. 4-4-2 with a diamond. If the Leeds match isn't on TV, I'm not taking the chance and going to the game after what happened with Wimbledon. Hey, that was probably my most viewed live stream. Yeah, it's a bit of a L. I think it actually is on Sky Sports. I'm not able to sub to your channel. Have I been blocked? You haven't been blocked because you're here. Maybe it's a country thing and you're not able to donate either. I mean, you could donate via PayPal. Links in the comments if that's what you want to do. I don't know what country you're viewing from. I know sometimes some of you comments say there's country issues around it and whatnot. So maybe use a VPN. Who's your team against Leeds? Already said it, my guy, but I'll once again go with it. If Lacazette, as I said, asterisks around, well, I'll just show it to you in it better yet. We'll go again. But as I said, I would like to start Lacazette and I would actually like to start Ben White or Gabriel. Personally, we're playing on again. If someone gets injured, there's an L there and there's a problem. Prevention is better than cure. But we're playing on Saturday. If these lot want to be back in Europe, if these lot want to be playing in the Champions League, playing twice a week, playing 3 times in 10 days is something you're going to have to get used to. So it's down for the players to be up and at it, be consistent with such, and it's down for Arteta to have a squad big enough and a squad with enough quality. But that would probably be my squad. Again, I would like Lacazette through the middle and I would like Ben White or Gabriel to play. But if we just look at this team, Leno, Tavares, Marie/Chambers, one of the two, pick one, you lot. Holding, Cedric, El Nene and Maitland in midfield, Odegaard in the middle, Pepe on the right, Martinelli on the left. Like I said, I would like it to be Lacazette, but I've gone with Eddie and Nketiah through the middle. Would like Balogun to get opportunities, but I think Eddie's been in slightly better form when given a chance, and I think he's more likely to score. And I would like it to start for Balogun. Eddie might have something to say against his former club, but yeah, man. Odegaard can flourish versus Leeds, just not against teams who eat concrete like Burnley. To be fair, he did play well against Burnley, if we're honest. No worries, Viking. They should keep 4-4-2. Pepe as a striker against Leeds. Against Liverpool, 5 at the back is compulsory. Wide centre backs for inside forwards and wing backs for their fullbacks. Prayers for the rest. Will Balogun get another chance? I would like Patino on the bench, but I wouldn't throw him in there from the start. I would, realistically, Balogun should be leading the line. If he doesn't get minutes, there's issues. Balogun will be part of the match day squad, in my opinion. The Wimbledon game is one of the funniest things ever on this channel. It was killing me, man. DG, when the hell did 4th Street get on Morley's? I don't know, but they need to take that BS back to South, man. We don't need none of that. Any midfielders you have in mind? What do you mean? I disagree with you, DG. I think Arsenal should keep a consistent squad instead of switching up because it hasn't worked out in the past. I think you've disagreed with me because I think we're agreeing with the same thing. I've just been preaching the need for stability, but you need less necessary change. I think Arsenal fans cry about stability, but then when the stability is there, you're going to say there's predictability. We're very predictable. The key is balance, when to do things. 4-4-2 was good, but let's be honest, we have to discount a lot, man. We have to discount a lot. Villa were poor. They didn't ask much of us defensively. When they did in the second half, with Lacazette gone, no one had the competency to mark Luiz. Is it a coincidence we then conceded? Do you think Liverpool go unbeaten this season? I mean, I don't think so, but I hope not as well. But they look like it. Nobody thinks Leeds is a pushover. I don't think anyone is expected Leeds to be a pushover, my guy. So yeah, man, it's too early for nonsense. I've been up too early to tolerate BS. But big up from Indonesia, DG. Couldn't stay long tonight, but I won 20 bucks from a bet I made with a friend yesterday regarding Ollie's continued career. Good luck with your stream, brother. I appreciate that. You know, don't spend it all at once. Do your thing, man. The weakness of Arteta is in rotating the players. Whenever he does it, it backfires because he doesn't know when to do it, who to do it, and how to do it. Enfield Town got a Morley's too. They need to allow it. Can't touch Chick King. Even Chick King's overrated, but still, man. Daniel doesn't play for us anymore. He's joined Brentford. Against a certified midfield, will be ripped open. Will be ripped open 4-4-2. Yep. Would you take Payet? Nah. At this moment in time, why did Aubameyang not give the armband to someone when he got subbed? I didn't pick up on that. He must have, but I don't have an answer for you, my guy. I mean, I like everyone. I want the Aouars, the Guimaraes, all of these guys, but it's not gonna happen, man. DG, do we need a Neves or Aouar type midfielder? What's your thoughts? You need both. We need both. We need about two midfielders. Our midfield don't have people, actual centre mid options, bro. You man are going. Arsenal fans are bugging out if you want to have Partey, Lokonga, and people even talking. I know he's done the madness, but Basuma, that's gonna be dead against low blocks. Like we need couple of sixes, couple of eights, the ability to play sixes and eights, 2 6s, 2 8s. People don't understand 38 games. You need to do better, man. Bro, Payet's a baller, but allow it, man. He's not gonna do the drippy stuff here, and bro, you're gonna suddenly start to see his age at Arsenal and things, man. He's doing this thing at Marseille. Let him keep doing it there, man. Sanchez. We should blow a bag low key on Gavi before Barca drop that, bro. Your dream chasing. The Gavi thing's gone, man. Like it's gone. You needed to do that before you needed to do a Cesc Fabregas thing when it happened. It's a myth. Absolute myth. Trying to see if there's any more. Hit the like button if you haven't as well, people. Trying to see if there's any more Arsenal news. Apparently, Newcastle are interested in signing Lacazette in January, but face competition from West Ham. Let's type in Lacazette and see what that is all about, folks. Been linked with Everton as well. I mean, Lacazette's been linked with Lacazette's joining everyone. Let's start clicking on a couple of these Lacazette articles, people. Sorry, man. Let me just hit the like button. Make sure you're setting your reminders for tomorrow. Let me just get these two articles up, people, because it's nonsense in it, but it is what it is where Lacazette's concerned. Yeah, Lacazette has been linked with Newcastle / West Ham / Everton, and they're all good clubs for him, really. You know, Newcastle is an exciting project. Would probably get a nice pay packet, obviously probably get a nice contract, and at this time in his career it's good. Everton under Rafa Benitez, a big club to play for. West Ham are doing better than Arsenal, win it, and it's an exciting club. You wouldn't have to move. You keep the London aspect like that. I'm sure you join another exciting project, and obviously you'd get a lot of finances. He's been linked with these three teams primarily throughout the whole window, well, throughout the whole of last window and the whole season so far. Again, he keeps being linked with Inter Milan, AC Milan, Atletico Madrid. Actually, a swap deal for Bale and Real Madrid. You know, Lacazette's doing everything. You know, there is debate to give him a new deal under certain terms, and there's debate to let him walk. There's debate to sell him in Jan. Personally, I think selling him in Jan, obviously making money, you can never do wrong. But in terms of our immediate season, would put us at a disadvantage because you're going to need someone like Lacazette within your squad. Balogun and Eddie can't offer what Lacazette offers at this moment in time. You know, they might be experienced, they might have more legs, but they can't hold up the ball and all of that. And you need that in your squad. I know that for me, it should be Project Martinelli, but that's we're at where we're at. But if a certain offer is brought in, then you'd have to. And I don't know what is a certain offer because it'd have to be decent to tempt Arsenal. I think Arsenal have already just probably been resigned to the fact that doing your thing for a year, keep it moving. And if it's a case of giving Lacazette a new deal, you need to look at what is Lacazette going to do in 2-3 years, not what he's doing now, where we've seen it. Players are playing well when their contract's up. But apparently, Newcastle think a January raid on Arsenal is perfectly viable, despite interest from West Ham. Apparently, Lacazette has been linked with Newcastle, as you have seen people. The Daily Express, if we click this, Newcastle plot to raid Arsenal for Alexandre Lacazette in Jan, but face duel with West Ham. So scrolling all the way down, Newcastle are interested. Move, man, all these pop-ups. Are interested in Arsenal striker Lacazette in January, who's out of contract at the end of the season, and obviously he's playing quite well. He would be their first marquee signing. And to be fair, I think you bid 20 million, Arsenal take it, and I think Arsenal should. I think I'd even bid 15, maybe Arsenal take it, because you're getting none. I wouldn't be trying to bid for a 30-year-old. I wouldn't be bidding probably what Arsenal would try hope for, 25 or 30 million euros, and give this guy a contract at 30 years of age and a signing on fee. And plus, Arsenal are going to have to find a replacement. Are you going to find a backup one? I don't know. Lacazette don't score too many goals, but we need him. Apparently, he's happy living in London, so obviously that boosts West Ham. He's got teams in La Liga and Serie A looking at him as well. So that's what this article is saying, folks, where he's concerned. If we move away from that, clicked off the screen. Apparently he's been linked with Everton. Kevin Campbell's had something to say. We're respectfully, Kevin Campbell, I'm not going to read out what you've said, because we all probably know it's nonsense. But Lacazette's been linked with those two teams yet again, and is going to continuously be linked with teams until he leaves this club, if he leaves this club, because I guess still a possibility he could sign a new deal. But yeah, that's all there is to say concerning that one, folks. I won't lie to you. 173 likes, almost 300 people locked in. We're flirting with 200 likes. Can we get there, people? Scrolling down, let me take in what else you lot are saying. Yes, DG, the work rate's crazy. Everyone thump up that like button. Appreciate that. We need more world-class players. We can't keep relying on Smith Rowe and Saka. You're right, but who's world-class in this Arsenal team? No one's world-class. Man said Newcastle going to be like the kid in FM with the in-game editor hacks. Trust. We need to buy one of Chambers holding Marie. Trust me, we got that 20 mil or higher, but I'll take 15, 20. I can't lie, man. No, I can't lie to you. It was clearly a 4-2-2 in my 4-4-2 in my opinion. Lacazette slightly dropping deep at times to get onto Tavares, to get onto Luis. Tavares and Smith Rowe providing the width. Of course, in the current day, 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3. Half of these formations become 2-in-1 sort of thing. But it was clear that it looked like a 4-4-2. What else have we got? Need a DM for Partey to express himself as a box-to-box. Yeah, okay. That was exactly my thoughts. We need an 8 and a 6 if we're serious. Barella and Basuma would be perfect, but that's a fantasy. Unpopular opinion. If you bring in a 6 and there's another avenue, it is. But I don't think you need a 6. You've got Lokonga, you've got Partey. Obviously, if there's injuries, there's an issue. I think we need a couple more classic Arsenal players, man. Like, how about we just let Partey do his job, man? Like, he's this all-action midfielder, can pass a million balls, can score a million goals. The lines have been blurred. Partey can pass the ball. You're a box-to-box midfielder. Just do your job. Like, it's only at Arsenal that we want man to do everything. I'm not looking at Partey to control the tempo of games. If the game has to run through Thomas Partey, we're in trouble. By default, he's our best midfielder. But come on now, what are we talking about? Seriously. Obama ain't world class, but Bam Lukaku is. But bro, you're gonna have to come to me with things that I've said. I don't know what you're referring to. I just asked who's world-class players, man. Is Xhaka a 6? He came as an 8/10 and has slowly been pushed further back. I wouldn't say he's a 6, but he's a deep line playmaker, or attempts to be. Would you start the same 11 against Leeds tomorrow, DG? No. Bit of rotation there. Man said, on an unrelated note, DG, have you watched the ICARDI doc? He's moving mad. What's happened with him now, ICARDI? I mean, ICARDI's moving brazy, innit? Sorry, man. I'm just getting a couple notes up. I know we shouldn't make it about this, but bloody hell, bro, this is just moving mad. I mean, story that is Icardi, the gift that keeps giving. I know Pochettino said he's a psychologically a strong player. He's back available with the squad and all of these things. But Icardi moving mad again, moving brazy, moving mad brazy. That's actually going to be the timestamp. I mean, first things first, you should never air these things out in the public, if I'm honest with you. And for me, Icardi's probably at that stage where it's just anger. You tried the begging thing. I'm following everyone on Instagram saying you want to leave PSG. Now you're just on this anger thing. He said, Icardi stops following Wanda, Nera, and writes you come back for forgiveness. I mean, you want to stop that because she's your agent. It's a serious soap opera, like you lot know, people. He allegedly had an affair with Mrs. Suarez. Apparently, the PSG's forward appeared to be in a position where he considered the matter settled, but he has set things off once more with a controversial Instagram post that he swiftly deleted, which has had consequences. Posting a picture of himself and Wanda cuddling, Icardi wrote, "When you're in a single mood on Instagram, but at night you come to ask for forgiveness. Where are we, Wanda? It's not clear to me, bro. Stop doing that, man. This is some emotional abuse, man." And apparently the galley are even moving mad. The women are moving mad, really. I mean, China Suarez don't owe you nothing, this you lot. And I mean, the same way Cardi and Wanda hitched up is the same way it's ended. And spare thought for Lopez, he's probably somewhere laughing, really. You got this woman's kids tattooed on you, and you know, you ain't gonna see them again. It's a bit of a myth. But and then you look at this, Wanda Icardi posts is naked in the shower in stunning Instagram pic as cheat hubby Moro jets out to Milan to save marriage. Bloody hell. You know, Etienne Fermi, bro, he was holding back nothing with that article, in it. But apparently, you know, keeping it sane and stuff. Wanda Icardi has washed her. Hey, a journalist killed me. Wanda Icardi has washed her marriage rolls out of her hair by posting a naked shower snap on Instagram. As you lot know, her and her husband are going through a madness. And there's probably hella dons in the DMs that I would never treat you like that. There was probably one don that was probably chatting throughout the whole marriage and saying, yeah, man, let's go get a bite to eat. Boy, there's bare tapping merchants lurking. But yeah, that's the latest where it is now there, people. It's just messy, and absolutely extremely messy. So yeah, man, we're going to leave that there. Hopefully, you know, the Icardi's house, you know, gets in check sooner rather than later. But it's all brazy where these lot are concerned. And he's playing for his contract. Edwin Arteta must be smart and go for an elite EPL striker. To be fair, if you're Lacazette and you're resigned to leaving, like you're seeing a lot of people running down their deals, does it make sense even you joining a club in January, or do you just keep doing what you're doing at Arsenal, seeing what happens at the end of the season? It's a mad one, man. I don't think Partey's a lone six if we're on this 4-2-3-1. Yeah, 8 is more than a 6. But Arteta said he wants to move to the 4-3-3. That's why I said Basuma. Do you know what? You can bring in another number 6. But if we're going to do that, we need some more expensive Donnies, man, because we're going to cry about creating, man. I don't see why Neves wouldn't work. Going on here. I ain't seen none of that. Laka is essential to the growth and development of Smith Rowe, Saka, and Martinelli. He must be resigned. I mean, when did Lacazette become head of youth development? You know, just because he links up well with them, you know, I'm sure they can learn a couple of tips. Like for me, Smith Rowe, Lacazette ain't the most clinical, but you should learn how to strike a ball. But I wouldn't. That's James. That's overdoing it about essential for his growth. The only person essential for their growth, first and foremost, is them, because they, like everything in life, they need to take accountability. Secondly, it's Mikel Arteta and how he develops them. You know, I don't know when Lacazette took Mertensacker's job and became head of youth development. No, never apologize for being late, my guy. I mean, I would love Guimaraes at this moment in time. You know, if Saliba comes back next season, who drops out from the back line? Whoever's playing shit in it. Don't. If I was Ben White, if I was Arteta, don't let it be. And got to speak to Ben White. Don't let it be you. If I'm Gabriel, don't let it be you. Simple as that. 196 likes, flirting with 200 people. Let's keep running that up, man. We don't need to make too many changes for tomorrow's game. If we lose, it will kill our momentum. Trust like them development groups on FM Live. Yeah, bro. And this is someone who, you know, I've heard it on good authority. Lacazette is very good with the young footballers, but come on now. And I'm not being funny as much as I like Lacazette. I do it myself. We're overcompensating. He's good for the young players. He's good for this because he's not the Lacazette we thought we was getting when we signed him. And like, we need to remove the romance. For me, I don't want Lacazette to leave if this club is not signing. Regardless, I think this club needs two strikers. The long-term replacement that can do a bit of what Aubameyang and Lacazette can do, that's going to be a number one. Hopefully, you know, Martinelli, Balogun, these lot can step up, but you need a number two in the squad with what Lacazette can do. Give you the option of going two up front, just be in the squad and be a hold-up man and all of these sort of things. To stay up to date with DG and when I go live, please follow me on Twitter, people, DeludeGuna04. Don't forget to be watching me on Twitch as well. We do a lot of content. Shout out to everyone that was here this morning on Twitch and everyone who's going to be there at 4 p.m. as well, folks. So that's that one been dropped there. Obviously, the good times aren't lasting, people, because it's Leeds versus Arsenal tomorrow, Arsenal-Leeds. So make sure you've set your reminders for the watch-alongs. I would say Lacazette is clinical, not prolific, if that makes sense. He always strikes. I hear you, and I agree with you. And I was one of them when we used to say Lacazette hardly shoots and he gets more goals. But I don't. For me, that's not clinical. There's an element of precision, but yeah, man. Bro, it's actually bare funny. I never imagined when we signed Lacazette, his saving. As much as I like Lacazette, bro, this is bare overcompensating. He presses, he works hard, he does this, he does that. You know, that's tired. Like, I hope Lacazette gets 15 league goals because we struggle to score goals. But it will be another season where Lacazette's going to live with that. You can only be so good if you haven't scored 20 league goals. And further confirmation, it's not the Lacazette we thought we was getting. What do you make of Leeds this season? Fell off heavy. Have had a lot of injuries. People have probably found them out a bit, which happens, but I think the quality will shine, man. He's a striker, not a babysitter. And overall, as a second choice, he's not bad, but I think we need to upgrade. That's it. I mean, if there's an avenue to sign him on a contract on favorable terms, then I would do it. But if I'm Lacazette, I'll probably keep it moving, really. And I think that, you know, anything, you know, things can change, but I think it's pretty damning that there's been no talk, really, you know. Or the silence is a decision around Lacazette. By a forward. It's an interesting one to be saying, man. It's very interesting. But we can't overcompensate, man. Man works hard. Everyone should work hard in the team, man. We need to splash out on Haaland before it's too late. If we need a good trainer for youth, let's bring in Henri at the training ground. True, but it probably scare people, man. In my opinion. Pogba smart. He don't have to play against City or Spurs, bro. He's not involved in none of that. Prefer top four over FA Cup and Cat Yara, but I mean, I would prefer returning to Europe, but I like trophies, man. The Laka situation reminds me of Ramsey's last days. Quincy, you're right, where it's just inevitable that man are keeping it moving. It is what it is. Pardon me, there is a reality where I'm open to keeping Lacazette, but we need to be careful because I do think even Arsenal fans have rewritten history with Lacazette. You know, look at last season, he finished strongly. There was 2 Lacazettes that season, if you look at it. And if he signs a new deal, they're going to say the same fart they used to say about Aubameyang. He signed his deal, he's falling off, he's this, he's that. It's a myth. It's crazy, man. I think, as usual, cue the Conte talks. Manchester United. Let me actually see. No meeting in the next night for Manchester United. They'll decide final position in the next few hours/days. Solskjaer has always been protected so far. Rumors about Conte not considering Man United jobs were not true, but no official talks yet. I mean, it needs to happen, innit? Wait, you're gone, Ollie. It's over, Ollie, man. I'll be surprised if I wake up tomorrow and Ollie got a social still the gaffer, man. It's over, dog. Sorry. Is this something still possible? Trying to get collabs for you guys, people. It's crazy. Boy, anyways, moving away from that. Trust me, Ollie at the wheel, Ollie in the mud. Well, Ollie's gone, man. He can say what he wants, bro. Like, it's true, but it's looking mad. I hope he don't go, but it's looking like you gotta go, man. Our strongest team has Lacazette in it. I believe that as well. But at the same time, is it really? Based on what I've seen this season, is it really? Because Spurs, Lacazette didn't play. We was banging on and clamoring for Lacazette to play. You know, if Lacazette and Aubameyang play against against Leicester and we lose and it's imbalance, what are people going to say then? We've got to be wary of game to game drawing conclusions. After 9 games, do you have a stronger prediction on where we'll finish, DG? Listen, at best, I hope we can scheme on 4th to 6th place. I think it's more of the same because, I think we're going to keep seeing this 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, 5 steps forward, 4 steps back, this sort of thing all season. That's just me personally. I hope to be wrong. I haven't learned anything. We played Spurs and Villa when they were shit. Pardon my language. We're yet to go against a team that's certified. We're yet to show real consistency. And I'm saying that I'm well aware of the fact that we haven't lost in 5 games, but yeah, man, it is what it is. I need to see if we can play to that level that we did against Palace for 5 to 10 games until it becomes the minimum. I don't really want to praise people for hard work, for being spot on collectively. These are things that you should have. Why are we praising you for that? For being, for playing well from minute 0 to 90. I know there was rough patches and whatnot, but we shouldn't praise our team for that. I admire it, but it's a damning sort of verdict is where we are. We're praising people for pressing. We're praising people for holding shape. We're praising Arteta for playing a formation that gets the best out of his players. We're praising the players for having relationships and linking up well. These things should be a given where Arsenal Football Club is concerned. These things are a given where competent football clubs are concerned. So I'm trying to be wary. And as I'm saying that, I'm full of praise, but we need to rein it in slightly and keep perspective. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Man said do a collab with the cycling goalkeeper. What is that, Ben Foster? Tell him to shout, man. But yeah, on that note though, people, we've been here for an hour and a half. I'm gonna love and leave you lot, people, to do with whatever you're doing. I'm back again on Twitch at 4 p.m. where we'll be talking about we'll be playing Football Manager, better yet. Tomorrow we'll probably do something at 11:30. Hopefully there's something to talk about. By then we'll cover Arteta's comments. It is what it is. We have to see where we are by Christmas. All it was is making it to the December period, really. We've had the good, bad, and the ugly. We haven't learned. We're still at where we was. Arsenal are still where we was last season. I haven't learned anything. I know Arsenal can turn it on in small games. I know on occasion things go right and we can beat Spurs and things, but the devil's in the details. 38 games, I don't know. But yeah, make sure you're all here tomorrow as well, folks. This video should take you live to that. I've appreciated having everybody here. One love to you lot saying you're going to be on Twitch. Josh, Tino, I'm missing out someone. P, I imagine. I appreciate that. And I hope everyone's having a good start to the week and we all have a brilliant week, not just where Arsenal's concerned, but individually. Like I said, let's go and attack our goals, hopes, dreams, and aspirations. Journey to 50K seems like it's going to be delayed, but we keep going, people. So yeah, make sure you're following, subscribed, and the rest of it. Have a good day. Gonna love and leave you lot. I'll see you lot today / tomorrow / whenever, hang around like a bad smell on YouTube and these platforms. But it's only because I love you guys. And as I always say, I appreciate the support you lot give me every day and all these things. Honestly, it means a lot across both platforms. So yeah, enough of all of that. I'm gonna love and leave you lot. I appreciate the support. Hopefully it continues. And hopefully I keep giving you lot something good enough to support. On that note though, I'm out.
There's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like